pod thing. It's disgusting.
This is the After the Show podcast. It's where we get honest and real with yo ass. So sit back, relax, have a blast, because it's time for the After the Show podcast.
Yeah, hello and welcome to the KVJ After the Show podcast. Happy Monday. Our crew came limping in here a little bit from the weekend that was had. A good time by all.
Literally limping. Jay Bird goes, "Are you limping? I didn't even notice I was limping." And then he's like, "Or are you just mocking me?"
Because I am limping today.
You got a sympathy limp?
I couldn't feel it too much yesterday, but holy shit, do I feel sore today.
Yeah, we even said that watching you hop around on the stage on Saturday, I'm like, he won't walk for a week, Virginia.
Yeah, it's rough. It's a lot.
But with or without hip problems, I probably wouldn't be able to walk for a week after.
Yeah, it was something though. So thanks everybody came out to Abacoa. It was a really good time, great food. Teresa said, I just want to share with you the incredible time that we had at the Crawfish Fest. It was our first year. My friends and I had the most fun and delicious time ever. And I got a brief, unexpected encounter with producer Denny's.
Aww.
He was walking through the crowd on his merry way, and I stopped him because I was starstruck, and he was so lovely and cool to talk to me as if I was an old friend. Earlier that day, I bought some pottery at Jen's tent, where I didn't even make the connection that it was Denny's wife.
No way.
And, of course, she was also so incredibly cool and funny, not to mention super talented with her pottery. There you go, Teresa had a great time.
Aw, that's beautiful.
Yeah, love to hear that.
Yeah, we had a long line of pictures after to take with a bunch of people, and everyone was just so cool and nice.
Mm-hmm. Weston did call out somebody that was being a little aggressive. Says my wife and I were eating a gator po' boy, and I was getting myself comfortable on the flower bed wall, and there was this guy said he seemed cool, and he said, "Hey, no problem, bro. Make yourself comfortable." And I thanked him and got up on the wall, and then he goes, "Yeah, no problem. Just don't come near my kids." And he got all loud and aggressive all of a sudden. And he said his kids were throwing a ball to each other and hitting other people for the entire 10 minutes, and we were just sitting there, including me and one of the bartenders walking by. Then I hear him go again, loud and aggro, "Where are you going?" to one of his own kids, while aggressively grabbing her arm. And she says, "I'm going with Mom," who was walking away. Kid was like 10 and also trying to follow. So I get protecting your family, but you look like an abusive drunk out in public.
I'm talking about KVJ Nationers that were cool. There were some drunk people there that were not KVJ Nationers, and I could tell. And it's the funniest shit to see their faces out watching a Snack Pack show. Oh, my God.
If you don't know what's going on, you're like, what is this?
There was two dudes that kind of looked the same. They had the same look. And they were on one end, and they both, if they could have choke slammed me straight to hell, they would have done it. They were not digging my act.
I think if you came for the Cajun music, you were like, what is this?
What the fuck?
What just happened up there?
There was the nicest guy. He was 69 years old. He comes up to me, goes, "So my wife listens to your show. I've never listened to it before, but I've never seen nothing like this before. It's so positive out here. Thank you so much." He was the sweetest, cutest old man.
He loved the vibe.
Yeah, he did.
It was a vibe. Man, that weather was gorgeous.
Mm-hmm.
And I think people were just feeding off of the beautiful weather.
Yeah,
Cocktails.
I think there's something to it. Honestly, if you can go someplace that actually has good energy and good vibes.
Yes.
Yeah, of course.
You know, I think this era needs those kind of events where you go and say everybody of all walks hang together and everybody's positive and awesome.
Because that one does feel like a legit majority KVJ Nation audience there that goes to that festival.
Yes, and everybody's spreading love amongst each other. People that don't know each other, they meet and they become friends at these events. It's really sweet to see.
People came from Miami. People came from Vero.
They did, and thanks too, because there was one woman at least that dropped off a huge bag of gifts.
Yes, I have it. I have the gifts. I have the jersey. I have the jewelry.
Yes.
I have so much stuff at my house I haven't unpacked.
Yeah, the Weed Witch's husband got me the nicest jersey that said Jaybird on it because he heard that my other jersey got thrown away, and I was supposed to wear it today. I couldn't find it, and you said you had it.
I have it.
Oh, I am so happy.
I totally have it. I put it in my Mardi Gras bag. Keep it safe.
We got a couple clips. You can see not only Jaybird, the snack pack performing on stage, but also got Virginia doing her little rap to Nicki Minaj up on stage. Is up on our social media pages.
We'll add some more clips up, too, as well.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, Panda got some good stuff, too. He had the drone up, so there's going to be some good drone footage.
Oh, that'd be cool.
Our friends from Brian Marketing that were out there, they were covering the event, and they were flying their drone, and they were marketing the event in real time. Like, every time I looked up at the table, they were all on their phones working. I was like, damn.
I just hope somebody has the Mayo chant on video somewhere. If any KVJ Nationer has it, please send it to us.
We probably have 15 different angles of it.
Good.
Got an email from Laurent who says, we need to talk. The No Name movie game has officially become the Wild Wild West. And Virginia is out here breaking laws like she's Jesse James with a buzz.
I like that. That's a good title.
This isn't Clue. There's no mystery here. The witch done did it again on Friday. You let her get away with it last week after clearly seeing that she broke the rules by using line for borderline. And then this week, she has the movie 28 Days Later and the clue one more than 27. Ma'am, you just said 20. In my best bird voice, Denny's, roll the tape. That's a straight up rules foul. You can't say the words in the title. So.
Now, you can say 27 or 29. You just can't say 28 because 28's the actual number.
I see what they're saying, but we were talking about compound words, and that's where the borderline came up. And they may have a point that, can you say 27 if you're talking about 28? And we've been doing it for a while. I think people are just paying attention because Virginia had the borderline the week before.
Well, yeah.
She's on my ass.
Yeah.
Cock Holiday over here. Yeah. She really is the Wild Wild West, and it's got to stop. We got to have some law, sir.
I have always been Annie Oakley, and that's not stopping.
Mm-hmm. Okay. So anyway, they just thought that was yet another one. They just can't believe it.
Good. I'm glad they're on her ass.
Yeah. Don't let Virginia sweep this under her witchy rug. Next thing you know, she's flying into the studio on a broom yelling, I'm undefeated, and you'll have no one to blame but yourselves.
Did you see the belt? I brought the belt out.
I did not.
The belt was at Crawfish.
Did it make it back?
Hopefully.
Vlad was out there. I don't know if you guys saw
Was
Vlad,
he?
and Vlad made it back.
Vlad did.
They want Vlad back. Lana, L&L,
Yeah.
the ones that had him for a while, they want him back because they want to take him on vacation.
Okay.
And they don't think that you're giving Vlad enough attention now that you're focused on Honeyface. They wanted me to tell you that.
Well, someone was trying to steal it, and Joe Ponton, friend of the show, caught them and kicked it away and got it back.
Really?
Yeah.
It was another one, huh?
Oh, yeah. There's a bounty on Vlad's head as well.
Wow.
No, don't kidnap our Vlad.
I was going to bring out Grimsley, and everyone goes, do not bring out Grimsley because people will steal that thing, and I'd be heartbroken. Yeah.
And a request here, Jacqueline said, on July 21st, 2015, you did the Even Drunker podcast with Fran from Tequesta Brewing. And by the time it was over, everybody was wasted. You were playing Neil Diamond, Dean Martin, Warren Zevon.
Werewolves of London?
You had the Three Doors guitarist on hold, and you forgot to interview him until the end.
He had to sit through that?
Yes, that was amazing.
You renamed yourselves. Jaber became Milo, Kevin was Saison, and then Fran was called Zane. Oh, my goodness.
Is she saying she loved it or hated it?
She said she loved it, and she wants a 10th anniversary in July.
Wow, that's a good call.
Let's do it.
And with Virginia.
Where's Fran? Yeah, I wasn't there that day. And that sounded like it was so much fun.
We haven't done a drinking show in a minute.
We should invite Fran back.
That's
if he'll
funny.
come back, I don't know if that motherfucker would come back.
He may not. He may be like, nah. That was a lot to get through.
Because me and Kevin got hammered. I mean, not
Hammered.
drunk,
Yeah,
hammered.
hammered.
I don't think Fran got hammered.
Yeah. At one point, you assumed the station had cut you off. You You were singing "We Built This City" as your boss was nervously in the other studio looking on. A lot of fun.
Yeah, boy, that was fun.
Some of those drunk podcasts are the best.
There was another Halloween podcast we did where
Yes.
everybody got shit-faced.
Yeah.
And that was amazing.
Yeah, that was a lot of fun too. I remember that.
Is that the one where you got up and pissed?
Yes, I got pissed in the middle of the
He got
podcast.
up and left.
I did. I had to go piss.
I think you left me alone.
I did with that guy that he was on the wagon, and then we broke him down because we were drinking. I didn't know it, but the guy was, he was
That's
in recovery, and then by the end of it, he's drinking with us. I'm like,
Damn, that one, ooh, that stings.
Awesome dude. He's part of the ghost world.
I
And
hope
the
that's
Bigfoot
only
world.
a one-off. Yes,
I think so.
I hope he never delves back into it again.
KVJ, they'll push you right off that wagon.
You
my
actually
goodness, I
heard
had
him
no
get
idea.
off the wagon on the
Yeah,
air.
he did. He's like, you guys are having so much fun. I gotta get in this.
It's all coming back to me now.
And we were having a fucking blast.
Kind of killed my buzz. I was like, ooh,
Oh.
sorry. Did not know. Need to start asking people as they come in. You're not in recovery, are you?
You can't come. We should put a sign on the door.
Yeah, this is a bad room to enter for people in recovery.
Oh, was like that one time you invited the one Christian rapper, and the story I told before was, oh yeah, fuck this shit, fuck that, twat this, twat that. It's like, oh, this guy goes to my church. I'm like, oh. I'm so sorry.
Yeah.
I felt so bad.
And Michelle had said Kevin had mentioned the Surfside vodka iced tea this morning that he got on Saturday. Yeah, it was pretty cool. It's like 100 calories, just 2 grams of sugar in it, very low sugar, which was nice. She said Suncatcher is another one that is amazing, and that too only has 100 calories. Yeah, I've just seen this Surfside popping up a bit in different places, and they handed me one. I'm like, yeah, I'll try that. It was so good.
How many do you think you'd have to drink to get just a nice little cozy buzz?
I mean, I'll probably start feeling it after, 2. You'd be like, okay, I get a little bit of it. Yeah, 3, 4. You're like, all right, look out.
Have you tried the neutral watermelon?
Yes, I have. And Neutral's another great brand. Yeah, I love those. Those are nice when you just want something a little bit refreshing and not something that's going to get you all hammered.
I love watermelon. If it's watermelon flavor, everything, I love it.
I'm not hating on the high noons. I know what you're saying. You open that. Cause I'll do whiskey. I'm used to whiskey. So when you drink something like that, it's almost like you're drinking water.
Right, yeah. Yeah, and I was more thirsty than anything. And I was like, yeah, okay, well, this and it worked. I quenched the thirst, and it was nice, relaxing. I enjoyed it. And Samantha says Jaybird needs to try the Goya brand cookies. The Marias and the Carnivals.
Ooh, okay. I love it. I love it.
Cookie. Are they short?
I love a short cookie.
Yeah. And Domenico said, yeah, you were talking about your medical marijuana card, not being able to get a gun, but I have my medical card and I got my concealed carry permit after I got my medical card. You can't have both. I cleared this with the USCCA, United Concealed Carry Association.
So tomorrow when Kevin reads another email, it says, you cannot have weed and a gun. Because every time.
I know. It keeps going back and forth. Yeah. It's just crazy. I don't know what the truth is. Isn't that the way the world is today, though?
I don't know. I thought we did cover it before, and I thought we came to the answer that said you can do that. You had to go through some steps, but you were able to.
Well, it was interesting because a person had pulled off a direct Google search that they had saying that you could not. And, I'm getting to the point where I sometimes wonder what is the accuracy of some of these Google searches? Because you take it almost like, well, that's the Bible. I just did a Google search and it says it. But anymore, with a lot of these AI, look, they're just grabbing information. I mean, is it definitely grabbing correct information?
I don't trust Google anymore. I really do not.
Yeah, it's kind of a crazy world, and I don't know how to feel about some of that. Because, there was something I think last week that somebody called me out on. I had done a Google search on something, and I read what the Google had said, and they provided evidence that what it was not accurate. I can't remember specifically what it was, but I got caught with that last week and made me say, geez, okay, I'm wondering how accurate some of these searches are. And thankfully, Engineer Keith kind of broke it down because I was asking, okay, well, I saw that Grok is the AI that Twitter has, or X, and then I saw Zuckerberg over the weekend. He had a video where he was touting Meta's AI, that they are doing some new things, and I guess it's advanced, and they've revved it up a bit. So Engineer Keith basically said the top 5 models right now, The Google Gemini puts it number 1. He said it's currently state of the art, strong at reasoning, image plus text plus code tasks. The OpenAI put it 2, and it's most user friendly, and that's why I'm there right now, because engineer Keith even says that it's doing well because most people aren't nerds like me. So, and unless that's your whole world, that might be best just to stay with that right now. But look, other ones are making a strong charge to try to make themselves easy and better and all that. He has the Meta one at number 4, and he has Mistral at number 5. Lightweight, fast, open source. So even that's too nerdy for me. I don't understand open versus closed. Nerd talk.
No, I actually fell asleep.
Okay. And Dina had said here's my little piece of advice for today's tipping culture, and here's my standard. If I am standing up when the tip is requested, it's always a no. And if we stuck with this, think about it. When you're standing, you shouldn't have to give a tip. Okay. Does that theory apply? Because I am talking about oftentimes I'm at a sandwich shop or something like that.
Right.
And somebody's made the sandwich. The person at the counter turns around, grabs it, turns around, hands it to me, and it's like, how much would you like to tip? 20% of what your sandwich costs? More?
I agree with that unless you're getting a drink. A bartender, I think you're standing up, they're standing up.
That's true.
The right thing to do is to tip your bartenders because
Yep.
they're making a low hourly wage. They survive on tips.
Maybe they didn't think about that because they don't drink as much as we do, but you're absolutely correct. That does blow that theory about if you're standing, you don't need to tip.
We always think of the bar first.
Yep, got to. And an email here, it says, Jaybird, for that little girl who keeps coming to your house and asking about the packages, you just go to the property appraiser's website, put in the name of the person to find out the address of where the packages are really supposed to be going. And when you get the address, you should just take the package over there and let the parents know what is happening. The mystery is, so why are these packages continually showing up at Jaybird's house, and why is a little girl coming to get them? And then when he asks the little girl, she doesn't know. She says, "Ask my mom."
I totally think it's the
parent.
Yeah, I think somebody in the house is spending money and they're not supposed to be, and they're putting address, and it might not just be my house that they're doing. I could see this being, if they're a shopaholic,
Or if they have stolen credit card information, which happens.
really become a to-do.
Next time this little girl comes over, though,
I'm just not gonna answer the door.
take her picture, and then let's follow her and see where she goes back to.
Yeah, I'm not into taking little girl pictures I don't know and then following them, Kevin. You see
think
what I'm
that look
saying?
weird?
Yeah, a little bit. Yeah.
You don't think that's the best advice?
And that's why they send a little girl.
The guy with the dinosaur garden. And
You shouldn't then knock on the door and be like, "Hey, I'm here to look. I'm looking for your little daughter.
Yeah, I followed your daughter here. I got her picture too.
I got all these photos of her. You want to see them?"
And yet I can't walk that well anyway. You're not gonna see me walking well for about 3
Jaybird with
weeks.
his limp, chasing a girl down through the neighborhood, falling under her house. And I just saw a little girl come in here,
I'm like a fucking psycho.
and I've been taking photos of her.
I'll wear my Furby hat.
Yeah.
All right, maybe it wasn't the best idea. Now that you spell it out.
I still think you should do it, though.
Oh, definitely.
Yeah.
We love doing bad ideas.
And Candace talking about the weirdest time doing number 2. She said I was 100 feet underwater scuba diving. When you
What?
gotta go, you gotta go.
She pooed in her wetsuit?
I don't know. That's
100 feet underwater.
Well, that's my question. Did you just take a dump in your wetsuit or just try to get that thing off 100 feet underwater?
At that point, are you just chumming the water? And does it attract fish?
Well, could you even do that? Could you pull down your suit? Or is
I
that gonna
doubt it. I think
mess
that'd
it-
be tough. So I think she just took a dump in her wetsuit.
Maybe she had a 2-piece. Because if you have a 2-piece, you could just shimmy off your shorts and poo.
Nah, for the sake of this story,
Yeah.
she took a dump in her suit.
I don't know. Oh, that's rough.
She has to send a follow up.
Yeah, I
we
gotta
have
find
s-
out what you did there.
We have so many questions, please.
And I hate that I'm rooting for her to have taken a dump in the ocean, but I think that's where I'm going with that.
Is that refreshing?
I mean, maybe she had to go really
she
bad.
Had to, yeah.
But-
She said when you gotta go, you gotta go. It's not like she's like, I gotta take a shit. Let me dive 100 feet into the water.
Well, like that woman that was pooping in the Peace River, did she Because it didn't look like she had toilet paper, so it looked like she was just squatting in there taking a dump.
Well, you don't need toilet paper in the water.
I know, but then you're using
It's so
river
rude.
water
Yeah,
to wash your
it's
ass.
uncalled for.
She probably wiped with her hand and then rinsed
Yeah.
her hand in the water.
Or did the old spread and shimmy? I don't know.
Show me again.
What?
That was hot.
What are we doing here?
I don't know. I had to get away from that area really quick.
You think? I think in the ocean it's cleaner. But here's the question: if you're down 100 feet, is it dark?
I think it would just look like it kept the chum.
And then are you swimming in your own Duke?
Yeah, and if you're underwater, does it eventually all get out of your pants? If you kind of...
Was it solid or was it a squirter?
Yeah, great
that's
questions.
a great question.
Yeah.
Yeah, why am I thinking it's diarrhea? This could be solids.
It could be solid. You could have like a log
Which
Yeah.
would be worse
that
in my
rises
opinion.
to the surface.
I think that would be worse.
Yeah, and then would it almost like be chasing you?
Yes, I think it would.
It wants to get back in.
Dun-na, 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 dun-na. Oh my gosh, there's a turd behind you.
The brown shark.
We need to follow up.
We do. Can you please answer all 80 of our questions?
And Ashley said you were talking about panic attacks today, and I have one. We had to move to Alabama from Florida after being there our whole lives.
That would give me a panic attack.
And I just started a new job working from home, doing something I'd never done before. And one day my husband called me from his job and said that he had to come home from work because he had just become really sick. I think that's what triggered my panic attack. I was in the middle of teaching students virtually when I had to pass the lesson over to my coworker. My vision started going in and out. I became really dizzy and my breathing
Yes.
became labored.
Yes.
I started shaking, my chest got tight, and we have a history of heart disease that runs in my family. I think the thought of it started to escalate the panic attack, and I called 911, and after 20 minutes, because I had no idea and I feared the worst, they came and said, yeah, they couldn't figure out what was going on, but they did try to comfort and calm me. And after it ended, I was so tired, I slept for the rest of the day.
Yeah, if it's your first one you've ever had before, it's really exhausting. And I was 12 when it happened to me, and I didn't for about a day and a half. Nothing seemed real. After you came down, you just were. Everything was so overstimulating, and it changed you a little bit.
Yeah.
It's really a tough thing to go through. I know not everyone has them or can understand them, and people make fun of people who have them.
Yeah.
So it can be embarrassing. That's why people don't talk about it.
Yeah, Ashley said I could not imagine having one of those in public or while driving. Thank God you were able to pull your car over safely and wait it out.
I've had them in front of people, and it really is embarrassing. I had one in front of Virginia, really bad one in front of her at the Wellington Mall. My legs couldn't. We're on the second story, and we had to go to Sleep Number, and it was in the middle of the mall, and my legs were just paralyzed.
But if you do have to lay down, it's a great place, a Sleep Number.
Yeah,
that was a rough event.
We asked them if they could move the store from the second floor to the first, and for some reason that was a big request they couldn't fulfill.
I do bring it up because when I did start having them, I had them a lot during high school, and I was really embarrassed to tell people because people don't understand. They think you're lying or you're making shit up. So you kind of learn to keep them in, and I think that makes it worse. And if you got a kid that's going through something of panic attack, I really do recommend having them sit down with somebody and getting it out, because there are coping ways of dealing with it. But I think people are embarrassed and they don't talk about it.
It's scary too,
It is.
like because you really do think you're dying.
Yeah, it is. I told you about the one where I had to go to the hospital, and they go, "Oh, you're having a panic attack, dude," and they gave me that Ativan, and instantly I felt.
Oh, yeah, okay.
That's when I started talking about my ex-girlfriend.
That's amazing. Does weed help with people with anxiety and panic attacks?
So it depends on the kind of person you are. For me, I do not like smoking a joint out in public. It can give me anxiety. For some
yeah.
people, it can absolutely relax them. So
Yeah.
everyone's different. But for me,
Not the right move.
It's not my favorite.
Yeah, I was kind of curious how that worked, whether it be recommended or not.
It's different for everybody. There's a lot of people who like it,
Okay.
going out in nature and shit.
Yeah. Well, a story that kind of got my attention. I told you, just something seemed a little off with that Virginia Giuffre story, the girl from Royal Palm Beach High School that got roped in with Jeffrey Epstein back in high school, and then she was passed off to Prince Andrew. That is her claim, at least in her story. And then she got hit by a bus and she has 4 days to live.
Yeah, it was so weird and dramatic, and people were saying that if you had 4 days to live, like they can't tell that 4 days out from your organ failure.
And the people who were involved in the accident said it wasn't even that serious. But here she is with photos. She is bruised and beaten up. And they're saying that accident wasn't like that. It was basically a fender bender. So, like, what is she talking about? Because she was saying the bus was going 68 miles an hour, all this kind of stuff. And apparently it has come out that her husband of 22 years, Robert, is abusive.
What?
Yeah.
The husband put the marks on her?
It looks like that might be the case of what was going on because, like I said, that story didn't flush out from the reports, and I think it's still a bit premature to definitely put it on him, but she is now coming forward with the allegations, I think, took to social media about it.
Oh, no.
Yeah, I mean, her face is all bruised, and, I think she was using that, saying it was the accident. Why she went with the 4 days until death, that I still don't understand, but apparently she had revealed that she endured years of abuse, including a severe assault on January 9th that allegedly left her with a cracked sternum and a perforated eye.
Oh, no.
Her husband was not charged, but filed a restraining order, which Virginia allegedly violated by texting him. Her family says she's in serious condition and that the car crash may have revealed deeper long-term damage from alleged abuse. Critics accused her of exaggerating, but her brother defends her, urging people to see the full picture. And yeah, she looks messed up in that picture, but was it this bus accident or was it the abuse from her husband? So she remains hospitalized and under treatment, and she's still facing court over the restraining order coming up on April 9th. So, in fact, she's apparently still alive as of when I saw this story. That's good news, and hopefully she doesn't pass, but...
Wow.
Yeah, I guess it just sounded weird when it had come out. I'm like, feels like there's got to be something more to this. So we'll see.
What's he saying? Is he commenting?
No, I haven't heard anything about his side of it yet. So I'll try to dive back into this and see if I can find more on it and what was happening. Because I thought, this could affect if they ever do get to a trial for Prince Andrew, which I don't know if they will, but she would be very key in this. And Russell Brand, he was charged with... rape and sexual assault.
He got on the social media pretty quicker than I've seen anybody that's been accused of something and addressed it, which usually it's a written statement and it's about 5 to 6 or 7 days later.
Do you like when people do that, when they jump right on it? It feels like it's not rehearsed, it's not from a PR person, or it feels that way at least, and it could still have been.
So to me, I do not like when celebrities give a written apology about it. It comes off very cold. And if I was innocent of something, I would absolutely jump on it immediately. I don't give a fuck. Something like that.
You don't let that fester.
I defend it to the death if you're innocent. And you, I would.
Here's what he said about it in his comments.
I've always told you guys that when I was young and single, before I had my wife and family, were just out of shot over there, my beautiful children, I was a fool, man. I was a fool before I lived in the light of the Lord. I was a drug addict, a sex addict, and an imbecile. But what I never was a rapist. I've never engaged in non-consensual activity. I pray that you can see that by looking in my eyes. I want to thank all of you for your continuing support. I want to let you know that our show will be on Rumble on Monday. Thanks for your support there. And, of course, I'm now going to have the opportunity to defend these charges in court, and I'm incredibly grateful for that.
Okay, yeah, he's going to be in court next month facing the charges. They happened between 1999 and 2005.
He's a political commentator now.
Oh,
he does his own YouTube channel or his own show. I don't know if it's on YouTube anymore. It sounds like it's on another platform. But yeah, he went into that whole world.
I liked him more when he was a pirate.
And there is a story where Bill Murray is addressing it. He was supposed to be doing this movie back in 2022 called Being Mortal, and it was directed by Aziz Ansari, who had his own allegations. Apparently, Bill Murray did something to a female crew member that got it canceled. He says he gave a woman a kiss while they were both wearing masks, which he just thought was funny and stupid. He describes attempting to make peace with the accuser, but feeling unfairly criticized. He said there was no conversation, there was nothing, there was no peacemaking, nothing.
So I think Bill Murray's the kind of guy that it depends on what day you get Bill. I think he could probably be a funny, awesome, amazing guy to hang out with. And I also think there's a very, very dark side to him. And there's a lot. He's always been known to be a bit of a dick with some of the things that he has done and how he's treated people.
Right.
And just because you're funny and you're talented doesn't mean you're, not a dick face.
Right. Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, I know we've talked a little bit before. There was the movie Meatballs back in the day, and he came from an era where that was kind of almost applauded. It was just, frat boy kind of things where you touch a girl and she would just giggle and you thought that she loved it and this is just the way we are.
There's story after story of him treating people like shit on set.
Mm-hmm.
There's so many.
Yeah. So I don't know how much of that is.
One of my baseball coaches got into a fist fight with him.
Oh.
Yeah, they were playing some kind of like a softball charity thing, and I guess Bill said something, and it ended with them getting punching each other.
What a great story, though. You got in a fist fight with Bill Murray? Like, that's epic. Even if Bill kicks your ass, it's worth it for the story.
Yeah. And had you guys heard about David Beckham having an affair once upon a time?
Yes.
No. What happened?
I hadn't either. I saw this Rebecca Loos, oddly enough. Loos, I guess is how you would say it.
She's just following her path.
Yeah, she says personal brutal attacks over her alleged affair with David Beckham left her with no chance but to speak out.
I think they worked together, and she was always around him.
Oh.
Uh-huh. So here she...
How's she look?
She's attractive for sure.
Yeah, she is. And so here she is kind of telling her story, I guess, to a 60 Minutes. I don't know if it's the one here in America or somewhere else, but here's a bit of what she has to say.
In his hotel room before a match, and I was very excited to see him. And it was literally in,
No, wait, no.
clothes off, get the action done, and out within sort of half an hour. And I left there feeling absolutely... I felt like a whore. I felt really cheap. I felt used. And I said, I'm not even. Why am I doing this?
Why did you speak out publicly?
I always had the opinion of it's better that it comes from me and that I have some sort of control. And also by doing that, it was a way of me sort of not getting back at him, but just sort of, yeah, I just kind of felt the way he treated me was very unfair, what he was getting away with, and that two-faced life. And I felt that I know how much his image means to him. I just kind of wanted to make him feel some pain too, I guess. I don't know, it sounds very vindictive to say, but when you're 26 years old, it's how you react to heartache and pain.
And then you realise that David is just deny. How does that sit with you?
I thought he would have come forward with a statement or something and just apologised or something, but I think the fact that he referred to my claims as ludicrous, that just pissed me off even more. It makes you want to stand up for yourself, and it makes you want to keep coming forward.
Okay, wow, that's interesting. I was back in 2004. She made those claims that she was talking about. And back, 21 years ago, yeah, she was very, very attractive. I mean, she still is now, but that was 21 years ago.
He was married to Posh.
Yeah.
And she knew it too.
Right.
They're both wrong.
Right. And, it reminds me of, what was that movie when we were younger that was, he cheated on his wife and then she went crazy. She's like, I will not be ignored.
That is Fatal Attraction, and it is fucking horrifying.
That scared me on Affairs Forever. That movie,
Yes,
honestly.
right.
And that sounds like, look, she got a shot with David Beckham in 2004 when he was even a bigger name, or at least, on the market, as a guy who was like young, hot, whatever. Didn't have all the kids and all that stuff at that point. And, you know, if they did get it on and it was quick and it was out and she wanted more and then he just denied it, then, yeah, she's like, I will not be ignored.
Well, she tells a story in the interview that the first time they slept together, she came home and her mom saw her just beaming and smiling, and the mom knew what was happening. And she said, "You better be careful with doing this."
Yeah, no doubt. Wow. So, I mean, she's really admitting it, though. I mean, she's saying, yeah, I'm scorned and I'm bitter, and she's lashing back out. She's stirring this all up again 21 years later. I don't know if it'll stick more this time, because you think 2004, maybe an era where people would ignore it more. Now, with social media and all that, you didn't have that then. This thing could be...
Oh, this will kick up.
Yeah. I'm just wondering how messy this gets for Beckham. He's like, oh, man, like I thought I dodged a bullet 21 years ago.
I wonder if, like, what's Posh thinking of all this? Does she think it's a lie or the truth?
I bet he's still lying about it. And then I wonder if, you know, if she sees that, would she feel more convinced after hearing how she tells the story to be like, look, she's admitting she's being vindictive.
Because
she's scorned.
The parts that she really was talking about that I had seen was they had some flings, but it was kind of more than a fling, and then it stopped, and then it didn't happen as many times. She's like, it happened a few times, but it was a bit of a relationship. And because I did feel bad, but I also was I liked it. I was excited.
Yeah, it's kind of a weird thing. I mean, you know, in a sense, her honesty, I appreciate that, because, yeah, she's saying the quiet part out loud.
Yeah, she said he's charming and he gets what he wants. She said all that in the interview.
Yeah, and she's, you know, admitting, I'm scorned, and this is what it is. He denied it, and it hurts me more, and so I want to be even louder. Okay. Who knows what will become of that?
I know, it's crazy that celebrities are cheating on each other.
Right.
I can't believe it.
I know. People were shocked. What?
Yeah. Mm-hmm. And see that Snow White continues to not do well.
Oh, that story it keeps heating up and heating up.
I mean, it's just at this point, I assume Disney, because you know, I talked about in the dirt on Friday that they killed. I think it was Tangled was going to be a live action kind of movie, and they said no, just kill it, because you know, at this point. We don't want to take any more chances. They lost their ass on that movie.
They had a boardroom meeting, I guess, with a bunch of Disney execs, and one of the people stood up and said, this girl took $1 billion franchise and destroyed it within 1 year.
Dang.
That's at least that's what they're saying came out of that meeting.
Yeah.
There's rumors that she fled the country.
Really?
The hate
That's
is
juicy.
strong. She comes off very arrogant, and I think that was her biggest mistake.
Yeah.
Zegler.
Yeah.
Rachel's.
You know,
I think she just came off too arrogant, man.
No, I think she's feeling herself, and she's like, okay, I'm on the scene, and you know, she had her staunch beliefs and said, you know, I'm gonna push it. Hey, look, that always comes with a price. So if you want to do that and that's your conviction, then I guess go for it. But a lot of people don't like when celebrities are pushing their convictions on you.
And I think, too, Disney's looking at if she really did break anything in her claws, because she was on the tour. She did talk major shit about the original Snow White, and that's their product. That's one of their most successful franchises of all time. It's a Disney product, so you're on a Disney tour talking shit about one of their biggest franchises.
It's not smart. It's like a mistake you make when you're young and dumb.
Yeah, and when you're feeling yourself.
And you're feeling yourself. You're believing the hype.
And they're wondering if there's something in the content going, you can't disparage our property like that. If not, it's not good for our business.
I'm surprised that we're here, and maybe behind the scenes there is complete clarity, but Disney thinks of every last little detail. So if Disney didn't have her in some kind of ironclad, well spelled out list of what you cannot do, what you cannot say when you're doing these press junkets to promote this movie, then that's on Disney. Now, if they did and they ran it through her and be like, okay, here's the guidelines to stay in the box of what you need to be doing to promote this movie, and she just flagrantly disavowed that, then Disney needs to sue the pants off of her.
It's so funny, too. People are taking clips of her and Gal doing the interviews together, and they're just zooming slowly on Gal's face.
Yeah, right.
And it looks like
Cal's disgusted.
What's a fucking just?
Because she's like, girl,
Stop talking.
it's my movie too. I don't want you to ruin it.
Right.
Yeah.
You're Gal Gadot. You need this movie to do well.
Well, they're both actors. They're both going to have egos. So if one's trying to get all of the shine during the interview and you're Wonder Woman over here going, give me the microphone too, bitch.
Yeah.
That was kind of the tone of it.
You think about it, too. I have a feeling, because, I mean, one was pro-Palestine and one was for Israel. Look, Gal lived it. She was from there. She served in the Israeli Defense Force. So it's real to her.
Yes.
That is her life. Like, she knows very well the perspective of what is going on. She knows that she's lived that story. And she might be hearing this other girl saying, all right, that may be your perspective, but how much do you truly know about this situation?
The other clip that didn't help the Zegler girl is that she did one of them YouTube videos where she gets on there and I know I've got cracks and flaws, but people still line up to see what I do. It's like it's so arrogant.
People line up to see what I do.
She said, I'm paraphrasing it, but whatever she says comes off unlikable.
It's just so pompous.
A bit, yes.
Well, look, I mean, it is tough. You think about being an actor or an actress, a lot of them there are many that are unlikable. And when they're on the screen, it's not their words. It's somebody else that they've written for them, and they just have to act. And it's a totally different skill set to be an actress or actor and be likable, and to be a real person doing these press junkets and to come off in a way that people love your personality.
Exactly.
Mm-hmm. And so that's where the struggle is. Snow White made $6 million this week.
Well, that's what would happen. Anthony Daniels is the guy who played C-3PO in Star Wars, and there's rumors that he was such a dick that, C-3PO very likable, but the guy who played him on the press tour.
I've never seen him interviewed.
They're like, shut the fuck up, dude.
You know what? Look, if somebody's not going to sell the movie so that people want to see it, I wouldn't put him out there.
There's rumors that C-3PO and the guy who played R2-D2 hated each other.
Oh, that's funny. Yeah.
So why didn't they just get a new guy? He's a robot.
Yeah.
Probably contract. Who knows?
Right. That's crazy. Yeah, so Snow White got beaten by Jesus. That The Chosen, The Last Supper, Part 2.
Okay.
That made 6.7. Snow White made $6 million.
I mean, it feels like Jesus should beat everybody, right?
Yeah, so at the bottom of the box office, it's two people known for taking long naps.
Yes. Mm-hmm. Wow. I was thinking about going to Snow White just to kind of hate watch it.
Oh, okay. Yeah. Just see, and I don't know. I mean, I don't know if, how much of this is the quality of the movie, or if it's just that she really did tank this movie with her press junkets and how it rubbed people the wrong way. The movie that did really well, the Minecraft movie. I didn't know anything about it going into the weekend. I didn't even know if it was animated or not. It's a live action thing. It's got Jack Black is in it. That's why he was hosting SNL.
Your son Rocco was beaming when I asked him about if he liked it or not. The kid liked it.
Oh, yeah. He loves Minecraft.
Yeah, here's what Rocco had to say about it.
Hey guys, it's Rocco, and this is my Minecraft movie review. It was pretty fun. It was pretty wacky. I loved the character Steve. He was very funny. Anyways, I loved it. I'll give it like a 9.5 out of 10. Chicken jockey.
Okay, there you go.
He had a Minecraft bag, I think.
Yeah.
He did.
At the fest.
He had a Minecraft backpack. He's been loving it.
I didn't know that was a big thing. I clearly don't have kids. Is that a video game?
Yeah, so it's Minecraft and Roblox that are his favorite video games.
Made $157 million.
Pretty damn good.
$301 million on the global market. Those are the numbers they wanted Snow White to have.
Wow.
That's what they were hoping Snow White was going to be.
Because Jack Black knows how to do a press tour.
Yeah, no, you're right. And look, he's kept it fun. He's kept it goofy. And on Saturday Night Live, he kept it fun and goofy. That whole goth, kid at the beach or whatever, that, it was.
I like that goth kid on vacation.
Kid on vacation.
That was very funny because you've seen that.
Right.
I've seen that.
Yeah, it's a funny concept.
Such a funny concept.
Yeah, that was a good skit. And, and that's it, true. I think, look, people do go to the movie more if they like the stars that are in it. And so a girl, when she's first introducing herself, she probably just learned, unfortunately, a valuable lesson. Hopefully she can recover from. But be like, look, you need to be likable, and you don't need to be preachy, whatever your agendas are.
Well, she told half the people of the country, I hope you never know peace.
Oh.
That's what she said. If you voted for Trump, I hope you never know peace and stuff like. I mean, it's
It's not the way to do it. Yeah, it's not the way to do it. You're trying to bring people in, not push people away.
You just pissed off half of the people in this country. The election was very close.
I wouldn't call that a good business move.
No, it is not a good business move. Just be Snow White and shut the hell up.
And this is very cute. Angie said, I have my 8-year-old niece this week, and we've been listening to the KVJ show while in the car, including the ATS.
Oh, sorry.
Oh, shit.
And well, look, this is your choice. What you decide to expose your kids to, it's on you. We try to tell you what things are rated. She memorized the ATS intro and sent me the mail from the JVK show.
Aww.
I guess we got a new KVJ Nationer, and you can see there where she's penned it out. It's the lyrics. Kevin's eyes look insane, but he has cool hair. Virginia is a witch, and she farts in her chair. Jason is a spaz and has an old man's ass. That's what the 8-year-old has written out. So.
And Jason's got top billing, the JVK?
Absolutely.
Wow.
I'm fine. Yeah, the kids put the J first. That's not a problem. That's all good.
I mean, Kevin, you just got demoted.
That's all right. You know what? You should see where I am in my house.
The kids are my demographic.
I'm happy to get mentioned. All right, y'all. Enjoy your Monday. We'll see you back here tomorrow. Goodbye.